Jim, just hang on a minute. It started its life as we know in Kingston. The owner of the British Whig started the British Whig about 30 years earlier, and he used to print on a flatbed press, something similar to what we have. Mm-hmm. And in 1862, some of his cronies, mostly political cronies, clubbed together and bought him this press. These were very expensive in those days. This would be almost a source of knowledge with a print shop. That it wasn't just somewhere where you came and picked up the paper. You could probably come in and meet influential people. Very important. And I mean, Mackenzie, without his newspaper, he wouldn't have got anywhere because there was no radio, there was no television or anything. It was a means of getting the message across. So it was really significant to the civilization was printed. And you can say Gutenberg may or may not have actually invented it. Yes, he made a big impact, but these presses made just as big an impact. Mm-hmm. And if you ask some school kids today what is the most significant, they'll probably say the computer. But there wouldn't have been any computer if there hadn't been this. This is really the first time in history where you could like store knowledge and pass it along to somebody else. This was a newspaper press. It was made for a price. It actually prints better than when it was new. The first pressman had no idea what a cylinder press was, whereas I do. I have actually the accumulated knowledge, too, of 150 years. So I'm able to use skills on this press to get a better job than they knew what to do with. Really, the idea was 30 years before and should have taken off overnight.
Would the printer using this machine, would he have set the type?
In a shop like this, no. It may have helped, but it would take about 5 typesetters or printers to set the type. Everything was hand set. You've seen type, have you? Are you familiar with type?
No, not really.
Oh, well, I know I can. This is a type case. Pick a letter, any number you want.
Okay, how about this one?
Okay.
What is that?
See, the letter is on the end. This is an M, you see.
Yeah.
You have to put your glasses on because
I see it there.
Yeah, and that's cast in the metal.
I see.
By a type founder. He would buy the type, mostly from New York, and then everything was hand set. There was no mechanical typesetting in those days. If you take a column like this, it would take one man 10 hours to set this column, one column.
10 hours just to set this?
Yes.
That's amazing. That's a lot.
If before there was all you had to read was a political tract, there was no point in learning to read. But once you can read about sex and crime and things, then it's, and that's when you took off. If you had 950 subscribers, you printed 950 copies. Mm-hmm. The first copies may not look so good, but then who knows? So really the capacity is your capacity to sell. It's just really built for small communities. As I said, it was built for a price. If Hoe had only built what they call first-class presses for city and for magazines and things, you would have had a very limited market. Well, there was almost unlimited was this, the market. Every small town of any size would either have one or crave one. I think the layman thinks that a press is a press is a press, that you just go up to it just like a photocopy. Well, it's not. And we were able to prove many, many times that it's the man that makes the difference. That when you have a press, you only have half of what you need. You need a good man to run it. That a press, it doesn't matter how good or how advanced, if you know when to run it, it's like a piano if no one can play it. There's tremendous satisfaction in taking something simple and doing it exceptionally well. It's actually more satisfying than doing something complex but do it poorly. So there's always, if a job comes back next week or next month, I expect it to be better than it did last time. It fills a lot of needs. It fills an artistic need, it fills a mechanical need. It also, this might be considered downside, that actually fairly heavy physical activity, which you need. You can sit at a desk and then of course you got to go out and kick a ball around the golf course to make up for that. This actually fills a lot of needs. I've tried to take this, I have taken it to a level which they wouldn't have expected in those. And David has said, when I said, oh, it looks better, he said it looked better a long time ago. But I think I try for perfection. When you work on very, very high color work, the sky is the limit. And you always strive, and I think that's good, because if you learned everything in the first week, then there's nothing more to learn, and you go and learn something else. Learn videotaping.